The dust kicked up like a storm cloud as I slammed on the brakes. My old pickup fishtailing on the gravel drive just inches from the ranch house porch. There he was, Jake Harlan, my best friend since we were kids trading punches in Little League. Standing frozen, his face pale as fresh snow, blood trickling from a gash on his forehead. But it wasn't the blood that stopped my heart. It was the way his brother, Cole, cradled him like he was the only fragile thing left in the world. Their eyes locked in a silent scream that said everything had already shattered. I leaped out before the engine even died. My boots pounding the earth, heart hammering like the thunder rolling in from the West Texas hills. What the hell happened? I yelled, but my voice cracked, swallowed by the wind. Jake tried to laugh it off, that crooked grin of his flickering like a dying bulb, but Cole's glare cut through me sharper than any knife. Accusing, desperate, and hiding something that twisted my gut into knots. That was the moment I knew this weekend's soccer tournament at the ranch wasn't about goals or glory anymore. It was about secrets buried deeper than the roots of the ancient oaks lining the Harlan property. Secrets that would rip us all open before the final whistle blew. I'd known Jake since we were 8, back when summers in Amarillo meant scraped knees from dirt bikes and dreams of pro soccer stardom scribbled on napkins at the local diner. He was the firecracker, always charging ahead, while I, Ethan Caldwell, was the steady one, the guy who patched up the wounds and mapped out the plays. Our friendship was the kind that didn't need words. It just was, like the endless sky over the panhandle or the ache in your legs after a full 90 minutes on the field. So when Jake called last month, his voice buzzing with that old excitement, inviting me to the annual West Texas Invitational at his family's ranch, I didn't hesitate. "Come on, Eth," he'd said, the phone line crackling like it always did out there. "Dad's finally letting us use the back 40 for the fields. It'll be epic, beers, barbecues, and us schooling those Austin City boys." I could picture him already, leaning against the corral fence, his Stetson tipped back, that infectious grin pulling me in like gravity. The drive from Dallas took 6 hours, the flatlands stretching out like God's own canvas, dotted with oil rigs nodding lazily in the heat haze. My mind wandered to the tournament. Our amateur league had grown legs over the years, drawing teams from all over the state. I was captaining the Dallas side, and we'd been drilling plays for weeks. But deeper down, there was this quiet hum, a restlessness I couldn't shake. Life in the city had its grind. The marketing job that paid the bills but sucked the soul, the string of dates that fizzled like cheap fireworks, none of them sticking because I was still figuring out what I wanted. Or who. The Harlan Ranch loomed up around mile marker 42. A sprawling kingdom of 500 acres that felt more like home than my own apartment ever did. The main house was a 2-story beast of white clapboard and wraparound porch, flanked by barns that smelled of hay and horse sweat. Jake's dad, Big Tom Harlan, had sunk his oil money into this place after retiring early, turning it into a working cattle operation with a side of nostalgia. Jake's mom, Ellie, kept the flower beds blooming like it was her religion, and the brothers, Jake the younger, wild one, and Cole the elder by 3 years, had grown up wrestling steers and dodging tornadoes. I pulled up just as the sun dipped low, painting everything in that honeyed light that makes Texas feel eternal. Jake was waiting on the porch, but something was off from the jump. No whoop of joy, no bear hug that'd crack ribs. Just that bloodied forehead and Cole's arms around him like a lifeline. Turns out, Jake had taken a spill off the roof while patching a leak. Classic Jake, too stubborn to call for help. Cole had found him crumpled in the dust, yelling for him to hold on while dialing 911. "You're an idiot," I muttered, helping Cole ease Jake into the passenger seat of his truck. The ambulance was en route, sirens faint in the distance. Ellie fluttered out, wringing her apron, her face a map of worry lines. Big Tom was off in Lubbock for a cattle auction, so it was just us holding the fort. Cole drove like a man possessed, his knuckles white on the wheel, jaw set in that Harlan steel. He was always the quiet one, the fixer, tall and broad-shouldered, with sun-bleached hair that fell just so over eyes the color of storm clouds. We'd never been close, not like me and Jake. Cole was the big brother shadow, off at college when we were tearing up the fields, then back managing the ranch books while Jake chased whims. But there was something about him now, in the rear view, glancing at me with a mix of gratitude and something sharper, unspoken. The ER in town was a fluorescent-lit purgatory, the kind where time stretches like taffy. Jake got stitched up, 7 neat black loops above his brow, and a mild concussion diagnosis. "No headers for you, hotshot," the doc quipped. But Jake just winked at me, already plotting his comeback. By midnight, we were back at the ranch, Jake tucked into his old room with strict orders to rest. Ellie fussed over soup and stories, her voice a soothing drawl that wrapped around us like a quilt. I crashed in the guest room, the one with the creaky floorboards and a window overlooking the soccer pitch they'd marked out weeks ago. Sleep came fitful, haunted by the image of Cole's hands on Jake. Strong, sure, protective in a way that stirred something unfamiliar in my chest. Not jealousy exactly, more like curiosity. What would those hands feel like on me? Morning broke with the rooster's insolent crow, and the ranch hummed to life. Teams started rolling in by noon. Vans from Houston, pickups from San Antonio, all unloading gear and egos under the relentless sun. The pitch was a beauty. Fresh-mowed grass bordered by split-rail fences, goals netted with recycled fishing line. Jake, bandaged but unbowed, insisted on coaching from the sidelines, his voice booming plays like a general. I threw myself into warm-ups, the familiar rhythm of footwork and shouts grounding me. Our Dallas crew was solid, me up top as striker, flanked by Marco and Lena, the midfield maestros. We ran drills, sweat soaking our kits, laughter cutting through the tension. But every time I glanced toward the house, there was Cole, hauling coolers or stringing up tournament banners. His flannel shirt rolled to the elbows, forearms corded with muscle from years of roping calves. It happened during the first match that afternoon, against the Austin All-Stars. We were up 2-1 at halftime, the crowd, a mix of ranch hands, locals, and family, cheering from folding chairs. I was subbed out for a breather, chugging water by the water station, when Cole sidled up, handing me a towel with that half-smile he rarely unleashed. "You still got that killer left foot," he said, voice low and rough, like gravel under tires. His eyes held mine a beat too long, and I felt it. A spark, electric and unwelcome, because Jake was right there, yelling substitutions. "Yeah, well, age catches up," I shot back, wiping my face trying to play it cool. But my pulse betrayed me, thudding in my ears louder than the whistle. He chuckled, a sound that rumbled deep. "Not to you. Never." And then he was gone, striding back to the grill where Ellie was flipping burgers, leaving me staring at the towel like it had branded me. That night, after our win and a feast of ribs and potato salad under the stars, the bonfire crackled high. Guitars strummed old country tunes, and beer flowed like the Red River after rain. Jake, propped on a hay bale, regaled everyone with exaggerated tales of his near-death roof dive. I laughed along, but my eyes kept drifting to Cole, silhouetted against the flames, nursing a bottle and watching the group with that quiet intensity. He caught me once, twice. The third time he rose, dusted off his jeans, and nodded toward the barn. "Walk with me." It wasn't a question. My stomach flipped, but I followed, the firelight fading behind us. The barn loomed dark and inviting, filled with the earthy scent of leather and feed. Moonlight slanted through the slats, painting stripes on the hayloft floor. "About today," he started, leaning against a stall door, arms crossed. A horse nickered softly in the shadows. "Jake, he's my everything, you know? Seeing him hurt like that, it guts me." I nodded, throat tight. "Family does that." His gaze sharpened, pinning me. "Not just family. You get it, Ethan. You've always been more than a friend to him. To us." The air thickened, charged like before a storm. I wanted to bolt, to crack a joke, but my feet rooted. "Cole, He stepped closer, close enough I could smell the smoke on his shirt, the faint cedar of his cologne. "I shouldn't say this. Not now, not here. But I've watched you these years. The way you light up when you play, the way you hold people together. And tonight, God, I can't pretend anymore." His hand brushed my arm, tentative, electric. My breath hitched, world narrowing to that point of contact. This was Jake's brother. This was madness. But in that suspended heartbeat, with the ranch whispering secrets around us, I didn't pull away. We didn't kiss, not then. But the possibility hung between us like a live wire, humming with danger and promise. As we walked back to the fire, shoulders brushing, I knew the tournament had just become the least of my worries. Secrets like this, they didn't stay buried in Texas soil. They erupted, and when they did, they'd take no prisoners. The next day dawned too bright, too soon. Jake was up at crack, bandaged head be damned, barking orders for the semifinals. Ethan, your point today. Make those Austin pricks eat turf. He clapped my back, oblivious, his energy a bomb and a blade all at once. Guilt gnawed at me through drills, sharp as barbed wire. What was I doing, entertaining whatever this was with Cole? Jake deserved better than divided loyalties, especially now, when the ranch felt like a powder keg. Big Tom was due back that evening, and with him came the Harlan expectations. Stoic, straight shooting, no room for detours. The match was a grinder. Houston Heat pressing hard, their defense like a brick wall. I scored once, a curling shot off a corner that kissed the post and bulged the net, but my head wasn't in it. Every glance to the sidelines, where Cole manned the scoreboard, pulled me under. He didn't look up, but I felt his awareness like heat on my skin. Halftime, Jake pulled me aside behind the equipment shed. You good, man? You're playing like you've got ghosts. I forced a grin. Just the heat. Promise. He studied me, those green eyes, mirror of his brother's, narrowing. Spill it. Is it the job? Or someone? My heart stuttered. Nah, just focused on the cup. He bought it or pretended to, slugging my shoulder. That's my boy. We win this, it's shots on the porch till dawn. We did win 3-2 on a last gasp header from Marco. The ranch erupted, high fives, backslaps, Ellie passing out lemonade like victory elixir. But as the sun sank, Big Tom rolled in, his F-350 kicking dust, face weathered as old boot leather. He bear-hugged Jake, careful of the stitches, then turned to me with a nod. Heard you lit it up, son. Proud. Dinner was a Harlan affair. Steak seared rare, cornbread steaming, stories of past tournaments laced with laughter. Cole sat across from me, silent mostly, but his foot nudged mine under the table once. Accidental? Intentional? Sent a jolt straight to my core, and I nearly dropped my fork. Later, as stars wheeled overhead, I slipped out for air, the porch swing creaking under me. Footsteps crunched gravel, and there was Cole, 2 beers in hand. Truce. He offered one, settling beside me, our thighs inches apart. Depends, I said, taking a swig. What's the war? He sighed, long and low. Me, this place, wanting what I can't have. The confession hung heavy. I waited, the crickets chorusing encouragement. Growing up here, he continued, voice threaded with old pain. It was Jake's world. Soccer, parties, the future. I was the one staying behind, keeping the lights on. And then, I realized I wasn't built like them, like Dad, like what they expected. My breath caught. Cole. He turned, eyes gleaming in the dark. I like guys, Ethan. Have for years. Buried it deep because Harlans don't bend that way. But you walk in all fire and heart, and it's like the ground shifts. I should have run. Should have thought of Jake, of the fragile web we'd spun. But instead, I reached out, fingers tracing his jaw, rough with stubble. I felt alone too, I whispered. In Dallas, it's easier to hide, but it eats you. Our lips met then, soft at first, testing. A brush of warmth that bloomed into hunger. His hand cupped my neck, pulling me closer, and for that stolen minute, the world was just us. 2 men under a Texas sky, claiming what we denied too long. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed. This is crazy, I murmured. Yeah, he agreed, thumb stroking my cheek. But it's ours. As we parted ways, me to my room, him to the barn. I didn't see Jake in the shadows by the door, his face a mask of confusion and hurt. The hook was set, the line was taut, and the real storm was just breaking. Finals day hit like a freight train. Clear skies, but air thick with anticipation and the metallic tang of cut grass. The opposing team, El Paso Eagles, had steamrolled their bracket. Their striker, a beast named Raul, who'd once headlined a semi-pro highlight reel. Jake was in full coach mode, clipboard in hand, his bandage a badge of honor. "Ethan, you're my weapon today. Feed off Marco, strike fast. We got this." I nodded, lacing my cleats tighter, but my mind was a battlefield. Last night's kiss replayed in loops. Cole's taste like salt and summer, the way his breath hitched against mine. Guilt warred with want, a toxic brew that soured my stomach. How could I face Jake, play beside him with this betrayal simmering? Yet denying it felt like lying to my own skin. The whistle blew, and the game swallowed me whole. El Paso came out swinging, Raul bulldozing our back line for an early goal. We countered hard, Lena threading a pass that I buried low and hard equalizer. The crowd roared, a sea of Stetsons and team colors, Ellie leading chants from her lawn chair. Cole was there too, by the water jugs, his eyes finding mine across the pitch like a compass needle. Halftime tied at 1-1. Jake's pep talk fierce. "Dig deep, boys. This ranch is our blood. Fight for it." His words landed like punches, each one a reminder of the bond I jeopardized. In the huddle, our hands stacked, I felt the weight of it all, the friendship, the field, the forbidden spark with his brother. Second half was carnage. Tackles crunching, cards flashing yellow. I danced through midfield, evaded a slide, and slotted home the winner. A screamer from 20 yards that kissed the crossbar and dropped. 2-1. The final whistle wailed, and the ranch exploded. Hugs, hoots, Jake lifting me onto his shoulders like we were kids again. "Champions!" he bellowed, and for a heartbeat, it was pure. The trophy ceremony blurred into barbecue chaos. Ribs slathered in sauce, cold Shiner Bock sweating in buckets, a DJ spinning Waylon Jennings remixes. Big Tom hoisted the cup, his gravel voice toasting to grit and kin. I smiled through it, but Cole's absence gnawed. He'd vanished after the game, citing ranch chores. Night fell soft, fireflies winking like conspirators. I wandered to the creek behind the barn, needing the rush of water to drown my thoughts. Footsteps. Cole, emerging from the willows, shirt untucked, face shadowed. "Congratulations, hero," he said, voice husky. He closed the distance, hands finding my waist, pulling me into the shelter of his frame. "We shouldn't," I protested weakly, even as my arms looped his neck. "Jake is my brother, and he loves you like one. But this..." He kissed me then, deeper, urgent, the creek murmuring approval. Hands roamed, over shirts, respectful but insistent, mapping contours we'd only dreamed. It was fire and flood, emotion crashing in waves. The loneliness of hidden truths, the thrill of being seen. We sank to the bank, backs against a boulder, talking between breaths. Cole opened up. First crush on a rodeo cowboy at 16. The shame that followed, the walls he built. "Dad's old school," he admitted. "Mom suspects, but we don't say it. Jake, he'd get it, I think. But losing you both? Can't risk that." I shared my fragments. The college party where I kissed a teammate and bolted. The Dallas bars where eyes met but courage faltered. "You're the first that's felt real," I confessed. "Like home." We lingered till stars blurred. Promises whispered like prayers. "Stay after the others leave," he urged. "One more night, please." I agreed, heart full and foolish. Walking back, the bonfire's glow beckoned, laughter spilling like light. Jake spotted me first, waving me over with a fresh beer. "Where you been, ghosting the party?" "Just clearing my head," I lied, clinking bottles. His eyes searched mine, that brotherly intuition flickering. "Something's up," Eth talked to me. The words stuck, thorns in my throat. "Tournament high. It'll pass." He bought it, slinging an arm around me. "To us, unbreakable." The toast burned. That night, Sleep evaded. I tossed in the guest bed, replaying Cole's touch, Jake's trust. Dawn crept in, gray and guilty. Teams packed up by 10, handshakes and vows for next year. Our Dallas van idled, Marco honking impatiently. Jake hugged me fierce. Drive safe, and hey, visit soon. Without the drama. Count on it, I said, throat tight. As I pulled away, Cole stood by the gate, waving neutral. Our eyes locked. A world of what-ifs in that glance. The drive home was a haze, the flatlands mocking my turmoil. My phone buzzed. Jake, miss you already. Call when you're settled. Then, minutes later, Cole, can't stop thinking. Worth the wait? I typed back. Every second. Dallas swallowed me. Traffic snarls, office fluorescence, the grind resuming like nothing had shifted. But everything had. Texts with Cole became a lifeline. Ranch updates laced with longing, photos of sunsets over the fields that made my chest ache. Jake called twice, oblivious, planning our next league scrimmage. The juggling act was a house of cards, one breeze from collapse. 2 weeks in, the text from Jake hit like a thunderclap. Heading to Dallas for that sports expo. Crash at yours? Got something big to tell you. Panic surged. Cole and I had plans. A weekend at the ranch, Jake away on a fishing trip. Now this? I stalled. Work's insane. Rain check. His reply, nah, need to talk face to face. See you Friday. I broke it to Cole that night, our video call crackling with tension. His face filled the screen, lit by the kitchen pendant, worry etching lines. Tell him, he urged, before it blows. Can't blindside him. Not like this. Then I will. For us. No. But the call dropped, signal lost in the panhandle void. Friday arrived, storm clouds gathering literal and figurative. Jake rolled in at dusk, duffel slung, that grin flashing. Pizza and beers? Like old times. We settled on the couch, pies from the corner, joint steaming between us. He dove into expo chatter, scouts, sponsorships, but his energy was off, fidgety. Midway through a slice, he set it down. Okay, cards up. I'm coming out. To the family. To everyone. My fork froze. What? Gay. Been sure for a while. That roof fall? Woke me up. Life's too short for closets. He laughed. Nervous. Eyes bright. Figured you'd be the first to know. My rock. Relief and dread collided. A car wreck in my gut. Jake, I'm proud of you. So damn proud. He leaned in, expectant. And? Your turn. I see it in you, the same shadows. The room spun. Lie or leap. Cole's words echoed. Tell him. I swallowed hard. Yeah, me too. And there's someone. His face lit, then faltered. Who? The door buzzer saved me, delivery mix-up, some neighbor's package. But as I signed for it, my phone vibrated. Cole. On my way. Can't wait longer. Ice in my veins. Jake peered over. Expecting company? Before I could spin, the knock came. Firm, fateful. I opened to Cole, windswept and wild-eyed, duffel at his feet. Ethan, Jake's voice from behind. Cole? What the hell? The air sucked out, leaving vacuum. Brothers face to face in my cramped living room. The truth a guillotine blade hovering. Cole's gaze flicked to me, dawning horror. Jake's confusion hardened to betrayal. You? Jake whispered, stepping back like I'd slapped him. With my brother? It wasn't a question. It was the unraveling. The silence after Jake's whisper was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. Thicker than the summer humidity seeping through my apartment windows. Heavier than the pizza box now forgotten on the coffee table. Cole stood frozen in the doorway, his duffel slipping from his shoulder to thud against the scuffed hardwood like a punctuation mark on our doom. His eyes, those storm-gray pools, darted between us. Pleading with me, shattering for Jake. Jake, wait! I started, hand outstretched, but he recoiled, his face crumpling from shock to something rawer, uglier. Betrayal, pure and unfiltered. The kind that poisons bloodlines. You lying sack! He hissed, voice cracking like dry earth. All those years, brothers in arms, or so I thought. And you sneak around with him? My own blood. Cole found his voice first, stepping inside, door clicking shut like a coffin lid. It's not like that. I never meant. Save it. Jake whirled on him, fists clenched, the expo lanyard still dangling from his neck like a noose. You, of all people. The one who lectured me about loyalty, about family first. How long, Cole? How long have you been stabbing me in the back? The words landed like haymakers, each one drawing invisible blood. Cole's jaw worked, color draining from his face. A month. Since the tournament. It just happened. Happened. Jake barked a laugh bitter as bile. Like tripping over a root? Ethan's not some ranch accident. He's mine. My best friend. My confidant. You don't get to waltz in and claim what's not yours. I pressed forward, desperate to bridge the chasm yawning between them. Jake, please. It wasn't planned. The kiss in the barn. It was real. But I swear, I never wanted to hurt you. His eyes met mine, wounded animal glare. A kiss? In the barn? While I was laid up, trusting you both. He shook his head, backing toward the couch. God. I came here to celebrate us. Two guys finally free. And this is the welcome mat. Cole reached for him, brotherly instinct overriding caution. Jay, listen. I'm sorry. More than you know. But Ethan's not the villain here. Neither am I. We're just men trying to figure it out. Jake slapped his hand away, the crack echoing. Figure it out on someone else's dime. Not mine. He grabbed his duffel, storming for the door, shoulder-checking Cole hard enough to stagger him. Jake! I lunged, blocking the exit. Don't do this. Talk to us. He paused, hand on the knob, tears streaking his cheeks. Silent, furious tracks. You chose him over me. That's all I need to know. The door flew open, slamming behind him as he vanished into the hallway, footsteps fading like echoes of our past. Cole slumped against the wall, head in hands. Jesus, what have we done? I slid down beside him, the cool floor grounding my spin. Ruined everything. The apartment felt cavernous, the city hum outside a mocking dirge. We sat there, two fools in the wreckage, until my phone shattered the hush. Jake's name flashing. I answered on speaker, voice trembling. Where are you? Driving. He snapped, engine rumble underscoring his rage. Needed air. Or tires. Whatever. Come back. Please. A beat. Then why? So you can pick sides? Newsflash. You already did. Cole leaned in, voice wrecked. Brother, I love you. Always will. This doesn't change that. The line crackled, Jake's breath ragged. Love? That's rich. You hid this us from me. Made me the idiot in my own story. A horn blared distant. He was weaving through traffic. I'm heading home. Don't follow. Jake. But the call died, leaving static. We waited, but he ghosted. Texts unread, calls to voicemail. By midnight, Cole had retreated to the spare room, door shut like a verdict. I paced till dawn, replaying the implosion. The joy of coming out twisted into this knife fight of egos and hearts. Morning brought coffee and resolve. We fixed this, I told Cole over mugs at the kitchen island, his eyes red-rimmed, unshaven. Road trip, to the ranch. Face it head-on. He nodded, weary but willing. For him, for us. The drive back was purgatory. 6 hours of charged silence. Radio crooning Willie Nelson laments. Cole broke it once. He'll forgive. Harlan's hold grudges like grudges hold whiskey. Strong, but it fades. I wanted to believe him. God, I did. The ranch gates creaked welcome. But the house loomed judgmental, windows dark. Ellie's truck was gone, grocery run, maybe. We found Jake in the barn, pitching hay bales with mechanical fury, sweat pouring despite the chill. He spotted us, fork pausing midair. Come to gloat. Cole stepped forward, hands open. To apologize. Properly. Jake hurled the fork into a stall, straw exploding. Words are cheap, big bro. You want absolution? Earn it. We talked then, or tried. Jake unloaded. the isolation of his secret, the betrayal of ours eclipsing it. I thought we were in this together, Eth. You and me against the world. Cole was the outsider, the steady one. Turns out, I'm the fool. You're not. I pleaded, voice cracking. I panicked. Hid because I was scared. Of losing you, of the mess. He deflated, sinking onto a bale, head in hands. Scared. Yeah. Me too. Dad's coming back tomorrow. How do I drop this bomb now? With my family in shreds. Cole knelt before him, the posture of supplication. Then we drop it together. All of us. Mom's got a heart bigger than this state. She'll wrap us up. Dad. He'll grumble, but blood's thicker. Jake looked up, eyes searching his brother's. You mean that? No more secrets. No more. Cole pulled him into a hug, rough and real. Backs slapped till it turned tender. I joined. The three of us, a knot of limbs and forgiveness. Hay-dusted and tear-streaked. Ellie found us like that, arms laden with bags. Her sharp intake, then a soft laugh. Boys and their dramatics. Supper's on. Spill it over pie. She knew, of course. Mothers like hers have radar. Over apple crumble. Jake came out haltingly. Words tumbling like stones downhill. Ellie listened. Then enveloped him in flowery arms. My brave boy. All of you. Big Tom returned at dusk. Dust caked from the auction. We sat him down on the porch, the sunset bleeding red across the fields. Jake started, voice steady now. Dad, there's something about me, about us. Tom's face was granite, but his eyes softened as the tale unfolded. No judgments, just nods. World's changing, sons. Ranch ain't. We're Harlans, we adapt. He clapped Jake's shoulder, then Cole's, mine. Proud. All of ya. Relief washed us, a collective exhale. But as night deepened, Jake pulled me aside by the fire pit. Still hurts, Eth. The sneak. But, I get it. Love's messy. Forgive, I asked, tentative. In time. He grinned, faint but true. Don't screw it up with him. I won't. Alone later, Cole and I walked the creek path, hands entwined open now, no shadows. We made it, he murmured, kissing my temple. Barely, but in his arms, under that vast sky, it felt like victory. Weeks blurred. Jake and I rebuilt, calls turning to visits. Soccer fields our neutral ground. Cole and I navigated long distance, weekends stolen at the ranch or my place, building something solid from the ashes. The league buzzed with our triumph, unaware of the real win. But peace is fragile in Texas winds. One crisp October eve, as leaves turned gold, Jake called frantic. Dad's sick. Heart thing. Get here. We raced, Cole white-knuckled behind the wheel. The hospital in Amarillo was sterile hell, monitors beeping like accusations. Tom lay pale, tubes snaking, Ellie vigil kept. He's stable, the doc said. But it's a wake-up. Tom woke, grumbling for coffee, but his grip on my hand was fierce. Don't let this place harden you, boys. Love fierce. Live louder. We did. Through Tom's recovery, slow, stubborn. Family knit tighter. Jake found a guy at the expo, a quiet designer named Riley, sparks tentative but kindling. Cole and I planned futures. Me relocating part-time to the ranch, blending city hustle with country heart. Winter solstice brought snow, rare and magical, blanketing the fields white. We gathered, Harlan's plus me, Riley shy in the corner, for Tom's first post-op feast. Laughter echoed, toasts raised to second chances. As flakes danced outside, Cole pulled me to the porch, breath fogging glass. Marry me, not a ring, just his heart, raw and ready. Tears stung. Yes, God, yes. Inside, cheers erupted, Jake's whoop loudest. In that moment, betrayal's scar faded to story, a chapter closed with grace. Yet life twists. Spring brought bloom and blowback. League rumors, small-town whispers about those Harlan boys. Jake weathered it with Riley's hand in his. We with each other's. Tom's health rallied, ranch thriving. Summer tournament loomed. Full circle. I stood on that pitch, Cole in the stands, Jake captaining beside me. The whistle blew, and we ran. Not from shadows, but toward light. The second annual West Texas Invitational dawned under a sky so blue it hurt to look at. The kind of flawless vault that made you believe in do-overs. A year had etched itself into us all. Lines around Tom's eyes from his brush with mortality. Jake's grin a touch more seasoned with Riley's influence. Cole's hand in mine a habit now, worn in like favorite boots. I'd split my life between Dallas deadlines and ranch rhythms. The commute a small price for this patchwork family we'd forged from fractures. The teams assembled much like before. Vans disgorging players, coolers clinking, the air electric with trash talk and turf scent. But this time, no secrets simmered beneath. Jake and I ran drills shoulder to shoulder, calling plays with the ease of brothers, while Cole manned the grill, flipping burgers with a wink my way that still set my pulse racing. Riley arrived midday, lanky and bookish in wire rims, hauling a cooler of craft IPAs that earned him instant cred. "Brought the good stuff," he announced, hugging Jake like it was the most natural thing. Ellie cooed over him immediately. Finally, someone to talk books with. And even Tom grunted approval, handing him a beer with a nod. The matches unfolded in a blur of green and glory. Our Dallas crew, bolstered by a few ranch hands, clicked like never before. I netted 2 in the quarters, Jake assisting the decider against Houston. A curling cross I volleyed home, the crowd's roar shaking the rafters. Cole cheered loudest, his voice cutting through, pride raw and radiant. Halftime of the semis, Jake pulled us into a huddle, me, him, Marco, Lena. "This ain't just a game anymore," he said, eyes fierce. "It's us. Out, proud, unbreakable. Play for that." We did. Final against El Paso again. Raul glaring daggers from kickoff. They scored first, a screamer that left our keeper sprawling. But we clawed back. Riley, subbed in for energy, won a corner. Jake headed it square to me, and I buried it top bins. 1-1. Overtime loomed, legs burning, but Cole's shout from the sideline, "For the ranch!" ignited us. The winner came in extra time. A breakaway, me weaving through defenders like thread through needle's eye, chipping the keeper clean. 2-1. The whistle's trill was symphony, teammates piling on in a dog pile of sweat and shouts. Jake lifted the cup with me, Tom's bass voice booming Harlan pride as confetti. Shredded hay, ranch style, rained down. The feast stretched long, fireflies joining the lanterns as guitars strummed and stories spun. Riley and Jake slow danced barefoot in the grass, oblivious to stares, hands clasped like vows. Cole and I stole moments on the porch swing, his head on my shoulder, fingers tracing lazy circles on my knee. "You know," he murmured, breath warm against my neck. "Last year, I thought this place would break me. Now, it's home. With you." I kissed his temple, heart full. "Always was. Just took us to see it." But euphoria's fragile as spun glass. As embers died, Jake approached, Riley trailing, faces shadowed. "We need to talk," Jake said, voice low. "All of us." We retreated to the study. Tom's domain of ledgers and leather chairs. Ellie joining with tea that steamed like unspoken fears. Jake paced, Riley's hand steadying him. "Got a call today. From the league board." My stomach dropped. Whispers. Complaints? "They're pulling our hosting rights," he continued, words clipped. "Some parents griped. Family values," they said. After the expo, word spread. About us. They don't want that element around their kids. The room iced. Tom's fist clenched on his armrest, knuckles blanching. "Over my dead body." Ellie touched his arm, calm as a still pond. "Tom." "No." He rose, voice thunder. "This ranch is ours, blood, sweat, legacy. They don't dictate our welcome." Cole leaned forward, measured. "It's not just the tournament. Sponsors might bail. The town talk. It's turning." Jake nodded, defeated. "Raul's team? They're out too by association." Said it taints the sport. Rage boiled in me, hot and helpless. "This is bullshit." We've earned this on merit, not whispers. Riley spoke soft, analytical. Legally, we could fight. But PR? It's a war we might not win. Silence fell, heavy as the oak beams overhead. Tom's gaze swept us. Sons? Almost sons. The loves we'd claimed. Then we redefine it. No more hiding behind invitational. Make it ours, the Harlan Open. For everyone who plays true, loves true. Let them come or stay away. The idea ignited. Jake's eyes lit. Queer League? Allies welcome. Why not? Ellie smiled. Fierce. I've got recipes for twice the crowd. We plan till midnight. Rebranding, outreach to inclusive teams, a foundation for youth scholarships. Kids like us, once. Tom's health held, his fire undimmed. It was his best since the scare. Dawn broke on farewells, but this time laced with purpose. As I hugged Jake, he whispered, "Proud of us, Eth. For real." Riley clapped my back. "Build it big." The drive to Dallas hummed with calls, league contacts, designer friends for logos. Cole dropped me at my door, kiss lingering. "See you Friday? Ranch needs its city boy." Wouldn't miss. But midweek, the gut punch landed. A letter from the county. Zoning nitpick on the pitch. Safety concerns. Petty revenge veiled in red tape. Called Cole, voice tight. "They're coming for us." His reply was steel. "Let M. We've got more than land." We rallied. Lawyers from Riley's network. Petitions circling online. The town split. Old guard grumbling at the diner. Younger voices at the feed store raising toasts. Ellie baked pies for the doubters. Tom invited skeptics for fence-mending chats. His stories of lost loves. A rodeo beau, long buried, disarming defenses. Climax crested at the zoning hearing. A stuffy hall packed shoulder to shoulder. Opponents droned. Morals. Children. Then Jake rose, voice steady. "This ranch taught me family isn't blood. It's choice. We welcome all because we've all been outcasts." Cole followed. "Love built this land. Hate tears nothing down here." I closed. "Soccer's about unity. Deny us, you deny that." Tom's testimony sealed it, veteran gravitas, heart attack humility. I've stared death down. Learned quick. Life's too short for small minds. The board relented 4-3. Cheers erupted. Hugs exchanged even with foes. Outside, under street lamps, we stood, Harlan's, Caldwell's extended kin. Victory tasting of dust and dawn. Fall deepened. The open launching small but spirited. 20 teams. Rainbow flags snapping in wind. Jake and Riley officiated a youth clinic. Kids giggling through drills. Faces alight without fear. Cole and I coached intermediates. His hand brushing mine mid-whistle, open and unashamed. Thanksgiving gathered us proper. Turkey from the flock. Stories of the fight retold with laughs. Tom's color returned full, carving the bird with flourish. "To resilience," he toasted. Later, by the fire, Cole knelt again. This time with a ring, simple silver band etched with our initials intertwined. "Forever, Ethan? Forever." I breathed, slipping it on. Jake hooped, Riley snapping pics. Ellie teared up, Tom gruffly approving. Winter whispered promises. Wedding plans sketched on napkins. A ceremony under the oaks come spring. Life's drama hadn't ended. Whispers lingered, health fragile, distances real. But we'd learned the human core. Love as rebellion, forgiveness as strength. As snow dusted the ranch that Christmas Eve, carols drifting from the radio, I held Cole close, Jake and Riley harmonizing off-key. Betrayal's ghost, banished. In its place, a tapestry woven tight, threads of pain and joy indistinguishable. We'd surprised ourselves big time, and it was beautiful. Spring erupted on the ranch like a long-held breath released. Azaleas exploding pink along the drive, calves gambling in pastures greened by April rains, the air sweet with promise and the faint char of early barbecues. Our wedding loomed 2 weeks out, a modest affair under the ancient live oak that had shaded Harlan generations. Hay bales for pews, wildflowers in mason jars, a justice of the peace with a drawl thicker than molasses. Invites had gone wide. League families, town converts, even Raul and his El Paso crew, who'd become unlikely allies after the zoning win. Cole and I dove into details with the fervor of new converts. Him wrangling the caterer, Ellie's brisket recipe, scaled up. Me sourcing a playlist blending Luke Bryan with Hosier for that queer cowboy vibe. Jake, best man by acclamation, handled the bachelor bash. A low-key fishing trip to the creek, beers and bullshitting till stars pricked the ink-black sky. "You two look good," he said that night, Rod idle in his lap, Riley dozing against him. "Like you were always meant." I clinked my bottle to his. Took a near apocalypse to see it. He chuckled, soft. "Worth it? The fallout. Every scar." Cole's arm around my waist from the log behind us sealed it. Warm? Sure, home. But fate, that capricious jester, had one more twist cued. The week before, during a final fitting in Amarillo, me in slim chinos and a crisp white shirt that Cole swore made me irresistible. My phone buzzed insistent. Unknown number. I answered mid-mirror glance. "Ethan Caldwell?" The voice was polished, East Coast crisp. "This is Marcus Hale, from Apex Sports Media." My brow furrowed. "Yeah. We're greenlighting a docuseries. Ranch Rebels. Love on the line. Your story, the tournament, the fight, the wedding. Raw, real. Think we could make it resonate." Heart stuttered. "Fame? Or frenzy? That's big. Think about it. Call back by Friday." Click. I stared at my reflection, Cole's grin fading in the glass behind me. Who? Opportunity? Or landmine? We debated over drive-through tacos on the way home, pros and cons stacking like poker chips. Exposure could amplify the open, fund scholarships, shift narratives. But privacy? That luxury we just clawed back? Tell the family, Cole decided. Their call too. The dinner reveal was classic Harlan. Plates of enchiladas steaming, faces expectant. I laid it out, voice pitching higher as nerves hit. Tom chewed thoughtful. Spotlight's hot. Burns if you're not ready. Ellie, but light's what chases shadows. Jake leaned in, Riley nodding beside. Do it. Own the story before they twist it. Cole squeezed my hand under the table. We're in. Friday's Yes launched a whirlwind. Crew scouts, release forms, interviews in the barn with mics clipped like badges. Marcus's team was respectful, queer-led, trauma-informed, focusing on resilience over sensationalism. Jake hammed for the camera, recounting the roof dive epiphany with flair. Tom grumbled authentically about damn bureaucrats, earning laughs. The wedding day broke golden, sun gilding the oak like a halo. Guests milled, 50 strong, a rainbow of Stetsons and sneakers, chatting over lemonade and lemon bars. Riley officiated, his vows weaving soccer metaphors. Like a perfect pass, love finds its mark unexpected. Cole stood tall in his suit, eyes locked on mine as we exchanged bands. His trembling fingers a tell of nerves I adored. I vow to surprise you daily, he whispered, voice for me alone. With love fiercer than any storm. Tears blurred my response. And I'll catch every one. The kiss sealed it. Cheers erupting. Jake whooping loudest. Confetti cannons. Biodegradable seed bombs. Bursting skyward. Reception flowed. Dances under string lights. Tom's toast slaying with dad joke wisdom. Ellie's cake a towering masterpiece of chocolate and cream. As dusk painted lavender, Cole and I slipped to the creek, barefoot in the shallows, rings glinting like stars fallen to earth. Husband, he tested, grin boyish. I pulled him close, water lapping ankles. Husband. The word bloomed, full and fitting. The docuseries dropped that fall, episodes streaming like wildfire across platforms. Ranch Rebels trended, praise pouring from coasts, critics hailing its humanistic grit. The Open swelled, teams from California, New York, even a junior squad from rural Montana, kids with stories mirroring ours. But backlash bit too, trolls online, a boycott call from a fringe group that fizzled under countersupport. Jake fielded a hate call at the diner once, hanging up with a laugh. Bless their hearts, they're mad 'cause we're happy. Tom's health held steady, his role in the series earning fan mail that bemused him. Folks see themselves in an old rancher? Miracles happen. A year post-vows, Cole and I adopted a rescue mutt, scrappy border collie we named Scout, turning the guest room into a nursery of sorts, dreaming of fostering down the line. Jake and Riley bought a fixer-upper in town, their life a quiet harmony of design gigs and date nights. One evening, as harvest moon rose fat over the fields, we gathered for the Opens Championship, now a festival with booths and bands. I captained still, Cole coaching youth, Jake commentating with Riley on mic. The final whistle blew. Our team victorious, cup hoisted amid fireworks spelling, "Love wins." Later, bonfire crackling, arms linked in a circle, Harlan's, Caldwell's, allies all. Tom raised a glass. To surprises, big ones. Laughter rippled, echoes of that dusty arrival 2 summers back. Betrayal's sting, a faint echo transmuted to strength. Romance's rush, sustained, deepened by trials. Drama's arc, resolved in humanism. No tidy bows, but threads woven enduring. Cole leaned in, lips brushing my ear. Surprised yet, every damn day, and in the fire's glow with family encircling, I knew we'd only just begun. Epilogue whispers. Years on, the ranch thrives, a haven for stories like ours. Kids kick balls on that pitch, learning passes and pride. Jake fathers twins with Riley, boisterous boys with his fire. Cole and I foster 3, a rowdy trio that turns the house to joyful chaos. Tom, gray but unbowed, spins yarns from his rocker. Ellie gardens eternal. Me, I write now, memoirs of mud and miracles, words that hook hearts like that first desperate break. Life's not plot perfect, but in its mess, grace abounds. And that's the real surprise. Love, once found, surprises most by staying.